What is up, lads and lasses? Back at it again, and today we pick up where we left off with Bursa being ambushed, Flavius getting destroyed, and Yeet getting his last laugh. Of course, Fatima is devastated by the news that Flavius has been fatally injured, which in this show means 'tis nothing but a flesh wound. He then has this really lovely dream sequence where he dreams about Fatima, and I like these creative directions. I like it when they do these creative things, express a lot of emotion and feelings. The only thing I don't get is how is it that after that, literally like 2 or 3 scenes later, which we don't know how much time has passed in the actual show. It could be it feels like just a day. He's just fine, walking in the middle of the street. Back into the fray with Shahin Shah. He's being saved by Demirhan and the remaining Mongol who set up his own independent principality. And then right back into Orhan's council, Flavius is there. Like, the character development is really inconsistent, because why is this dude who was supposedly an enemy, right? He was your greatest enemy for a while, and he got injured, and yeah, he kind of switched sides, and he had an identity crisis, and now all of a sudden he's among your most trusted people. Like, look, like, he's a great character, he has charisma, but there needs to be more character building. I mean, with a show so long, I wouldn't think there would be such a problem with long-term character development. So I don't know why they're just pushing him into the forefront without any actual, build. In the next scene, Nilüfer sees the letter about how Asporja needs to marry Orhan, like, politically, and obviously that makes her really upset and sad. I mean, she already had like an inkling that Asporja was trying to pursue Orhan in a way, but this kind of, cements it, so this one really hurts her. Next up, we have the least intimidating Byzantine warrior I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, this dude is an actual bot. This is literally a fodder character, a filler character. However, I do like this allegiance, right? I do like how the major actors within the area are kind of gathering and convening, and but I wish they would kind of cement a little stronger the reason why they need to do this, right? The whole purpose for this is that all of these dudes, right? Shahin Shah, Demirhan, Mehmet Bey, this Byzantine guy, and even the Mongol dude, I forget his name. They're all trying to take a piece of the pie. They're all trying to take the same piece of the same pie. It's kind of hard. Like, they should have established a little better why they need to kind of unionize and say, okay, let's just take care of this guy Orhan. Like, to me, okay, in real history, they were all bigger and stronger, right? But then even within the scope of the show, it feels like Orhan is still like at the very beginning of his principality. I mean, his sultanate, right? He has the first sultan. They just didn't really, in my opinion, kind of define the scopes very well. Like, it's kind of like, is Orhan bigger or smaller than these guys? Why is Orhan the only one who declared to be a sultan? Why haven't these guys done it? Why do they need to team up? Like, we don't have, I don't feel like we have a real understanding of why this is happening. Now, again, I think they're all like kind of bigger than him at the moment, and the reason they just want to take him out is they'd rather just take out an upcoming power and just deal with each other. But at the same time, we need to see a lot more kind of internal scheming, right? These guys shouldn't all trust each other. But yeah, I don't know. They need to do a better job in that. Once again, high praises for Malhun. She's the first like kind of older character who really, in my opinion, gives me that feeling. Fills in that same slot that Haimana filled earlier in Ertuğrul, right? In Ertuğrul, Haimana was this older, kind of leading character who's really wise and is a mother, right? Like a strong mother of a state. And this actress is the first one since Ertuğrul, actually, that fulfills that role, right? So she's really good. She's basically comforting Nilüfer about the situation and kind of explaining, like, hey, I've been through the same process, and yeah, she's gonna be there like throughout. And this is gonna be interesting because obviously when we had this whole dilemma between Bala and Malhun, there was no guiding hand, there was no guiding mother who's been through the same experience. Like, I think Selcan was there for a little bit, but obviously she was there to help, but she never went through this. But Malhun has, and so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how she plays a role in this story arc. Now, this was super cool. I like how Shahin Shah now has his own like tribe. I think this is the Kipchak tribe or something like that, but it's nice to see. You can see that there is a entity of power that's specifically dedicated to him. So you can see that he has like an army. He has a bunch of people on his side. Because at first it seemed like they were just like two rogue outlaws, right? And it's like, what are two guys gonna do against the whole Sultanate? But now that you have like an entire tribe backed behind you, okay, I can see where his power comes from. And yeah, I must say, Yeet and Shahin Shah have officially crossed the line of villainy. You know, earlier you can kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, they kind of were justified. They kind of were pushed into this, and I still would say they kind of are, right? I still would say that the way that the story played out, there was no other outcome for them. There was no, you know, other than swallowing their pride and, you know, bowing their head and taking it to the chin. But it's like, how much disrespect can you take? Big man Shahin Shah in the cut. I'm telling you, the only person who's truly, completely, irrevocably evil is her, Didi Hatun. She's crazy. So Nilüfer confronts Orhan about this whole political marriage thing, and Orhan just responds with the light skin stare, like straight up. He just hits the emo, he just hits the light skin stare. It's his favorite thing. And honestly, my two favorite characters at the moment, Alaaddin and Gonja, they are playing their role so well, and their characters are being developed so well, and man, Alaaddin's an absolute beast. I mean, he fights like no other, and he portrays his role like no other, he speaks like no other, and Gonja has been this really nice, like, voice of reason, and a character who has been through a lot and can kind of see and understand where others come from. The three go on a mission to speak to Shahin Shah, kind of tell him to, hey, you know, like, step back, turn back, and, you know, at least start to, you know, mend the error of your ways. And Alaaddin does not hold back at all. This dude is always looking like he could care less about what others are saying. Like, he's like that guy who thinks that everyone else is, like, at least 50 IQ points below him. And respect where credit is due to Shahin Shah. He tells them, listen, heed your words, say what you gotta say, you're starting to step out of line, be a little respectful. Alaaddin ignores that and pushes the envelope a little more, which I don't get, right? And then they just cause a big fight. Like, you know, I feel like all these issues could be resolved if people just kind of spoke and respected and saw where others came from, right? Hey, maybe the writers are brilliant. Maybe the writers are so smart that that's the conclusion, that's the idea, the motif that they're trying to come to, right? These guys are hard-headed, very prideful people. That's just the way you need it to be in order to survive in that kind of a world. So there's no really, like, speaking and thinking about how the other person feels. I guess maybe that's just the environment, right? Because Alaaddin should be like, okay, this guy's already in a pretty bad situation. He's felt so disrespected that he decided he wanted to betray us and take over, and like, maybe I should heed my word. Maybe I should, you know, say my words with a little more grace. But nah, it's like Alaaddin just doubles down and it's like, okay, you know, that you're not gonna solve anything that way. And this absolute disgusting creature that I cannot call a human, let alone a jackal, taunts Alaaddin about his dead children, right? The children that were never born. Like, what? Yeah, no, off with their head immediately. Like, Shahin Shah and Yeet will come to the good side. Like, this is the root of the problem. You know, this is the issue right here. And almost immediately after they leave the tribe, one of the most devastating scenes that I've seen. The absolute homeboy Balaban. You know, I used to call him blah blah blah. And I used to be like, these guys suck. But nah, bro. They grew on me. They were funny. I love these guys. But now, Demir Orhan stabs blah 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 with a spear to the gut. There is no recovering from that. I was shocked. The entire time I was watching this, I was thinking, okay, maybe they're going to take some bad injuries and just kind of heal up and come back. And then the next one to go is Dumral. And like, Yeet killed him. And I'm not going to lie, like, when this happened, like after the scene, this is when I was like, nah, these guys are bad guys. I have no love for them. Nothing justifies this. They did not need to kill these guys at all. Like, hey, they did a good job. This is the scene where it was cemented in my mind that these are the bad guys and I don't like them anymore at all. Like, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt like so long, but nah, this scene right here, nah, it's done. It's chalked. There's absolutely no coming back from this. And of course, Shahin Shah delivers the final blow to Alaaddin, and we know Alaaddin's gonna survive. And then the most ridiculous thing ever happens. You had like 30 to 40 dudes, you know, ambush Alaaddin, Balaban, and Dumral, and it was like 3 against 40. And then 2 archers, just 2, only 2 random archers are able to scare away that entire like garrison of troops, that entire like party of 35 dudes with spears and what did they not pack bows and arrows? Like, did these Turks not pack bows and arrows in their horses or wherever they were going to ambush Aladdin and Orhan? Like, are these two the only archers in the entire area, in the entire vicinity? Either that, or they must be the two most intimidating archers known to man. Because I was looking around, I was thinking, no, there's gotta be another. This has to be like another party's archers. No, it's literally just these two dudes. And this is when I knew it was over, man. When I saw this handshake of unison, into death, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. These guys are actually so cool, dude. Fun fact: they were both in the Mehmetic, the Ottoman show that Bozdag made, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I'm kind of sad because, again, these guys grew on me. They were the comedic relief of the show, number one. Number two, they were good Alps. And number three, they were distinguishable. And number four, like, what are they going to do now? Like, who's going to replace that? Who's going to fill this gap? This is the first season. And in this season, up until now, they were kind of building themselves into our hearts. And it's like the moment they cemented their place, you just rip them out. And yeah, it was just kind of devastating. But hey, at least they go out together and they go out in a nice and very meaningful way. But no, it was very unfortunate. I like these guys and I'm sad to see them go. In the next scene, a beautifully written moment between Orhan and Esporja, where they're just kind of talking and getting a little closer, and they both share stories about the significance and meaning of the stars and the skies in their respective cultures, and it was really nice. And each person's story they translated it in relation to their current situations in life. So cool. It was a very wonderfully well written scene. Now I want you all to take a moment and look at this dude. All right, look at his build. Right, look at his beard. Okay, look at his bald head with that scar. Right, like this guy looks like he would be an absolute unit. Right, this guy looks like he would be the final boss in the mid game of some historic epic. Right. So the situation is that good old Jerukatai sets up a fake army, right, with a bunch of, like wooden dudes, kind of like the scarecrows, and they're all holding fire, like torches, to kind of make it look like a giant army is sieging the castle, which is obviously just a ploy, which we'll get back to later. Aladdin hops on his horse, dips, tries to escape, he's injured, and they use this disgusting blue filter again, and he just kind of hides. This is kind of a cool callback to Osman, Season 1. You guys remember when he got like severely injured and he fell into like a little ditch and covered himself in mud to hide his scent. Skipping ahead a little bit, Orhan, Esporja, Flavius, and co. ambush a Byzantine convoy that's carrying a bunch of gold to help the agenda of that unintimidating loser Byzantine guy that we have. I don't even remember his name. But anyways, the point is there is internal strife in Byzantium, right? A lot of the Byzantium warriors and leaders are really angry at Esporja's dad for giving up Bursa and making peace treaties and that kind of thing, because I think his dad is, he's trying to mitigate a lot of the fighting and a lot of the losses, whereas the Byzantines are very prideful and they're like, there's no way we should have done that, we should have fought, right? We should fight, we should continue to fight. And the most Turkish looking man I've ever seen in my entire life is playing a Byzantine warrior, and apparently this dude was supposed to be a friend of Flavius, but like Flavius beats him up, right? And he says, oh, we fought together, of course you're a traitor, like but it's like, the thing is, I don't know, it was very poorly executed, right? I didn't really feel that camaraderie, that past camaraderie at all. However, I do like the idea of the internal strife, because, you can see their side of it. They fought so hard and they believe in their cause and they believe in who they are. It's like they should never want to give up any bit of land, right? So I can understand why, the motivation behind kind of the civil war or the civil disagreements within the Byzantines. So a few people walk up to the castle and, he kills them, and again, trying to be intimidated. They're trying to build this guy up, but this dude, like, you can tell, like, look at him, bro. He's phoning it in. He's winging it. He's just collecting a paycheck. He does not care. And also, it's just like the character they're building him up so badly. And crazy duckface lady over here had another character switch. Her character writing is so inconsistent because they started hinting towards the idea that she might think she's wrong, towards the idea that she might be on the wrong side, but suddenly she's fully dedicated to the cause again and is batshit crazy. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. And what turns out to be the funniest reveal in history, Dursun, they're having dinner after this big attack, this big ambush, at some random inn, and Dursun's like, oh, hey, Flavius, let me see your dagger real quick. Yeah, I know who your dad is. Yeah, your dad is, I heard this story. There was like legends that was taught about this dude who survived the Byzantine ambush, and he died, and his pregnant wife died, and his son disappeared. Oh, but by the way, your dad is full first, last, middle name, everything. Like he told him all the details. Like he's like, yeah, by the way, so I was like, well, like, listen, you could have spoken up like 5 episodes earlier or something. I don't know if y'all peeped that, but this dude is an MMA fighter. Look at his nose. His nose has been punched in so many times. Like, he can take a jab. He won't feel it. But yeah, this dude right here is an MMA fighter, just to let you guys know. Like, I can tell. Okay, remember what I told you guys before? Look at this dude. Look at his gaze, man. This guy right here has aura. But real quickly, before we go any further, I wanted to see something. So, this is Kara Jaysar, right? And Kara Jaysar was conquered during Ertugrul's era, right? And I don't know if I'm wrong, but I feel like Kara Jaysar, like the this model that they're using to display the castle itself, really reminiscent of the design they used back in Ertugrul. And honestly, if that's true, I love that they're using good continuity. So real quick, let me pull up an image of season 3 Ertugrul Kara Jaysar, and let's see. Yeah, just as I thought. It's the same model. I mean, that's fantastic. That's honestly lovely. It's I love the continuity. Honestly, that's amazing. I really appreciate stuff like that. Okay, here's the funny part I was building up to. So, this dude pulls out a good amount of troops, a tiny little army to go destroy Cherkutai's siege after someone goes and finds out that it was a fake, right? But then obviously it was a trap within a trap. Orhan chases him. He grabs a whip. I've never seen this dude I've never seen any one of our characters carry a whip in the entire franchise. Bro just pulled out some random thing out of his inventory. He hit up, down, left, right, circle X to do a cheat code to get a freaking whip from his inventory. And then they have the final confrontation. Dude's like, untie me, face me like a man, right? And Orhan had a powerful line. He was like, you guys are going and doing all this heinous acts, telling me about manhood. Anyways. And then Orhan whips him with 2 slashes. Like, it was less than a 10-second fight. Like, all this aura just for a guy to get destroyed like he's fodder. Like, I've seen Byzantine fodder characters have longer and tougher battles with Orhan than this dude. And that is so disappointing. Like, guys, please, can't y'all take 1 or 2, maybe 3 days, right? Choreograph a nice fight and just make it interesting so I can look forward to the next fight, so I look forward to the next, like, major fight. That's just a huge problem, a huge gap in the market that they're not fulfilling. But yeah, I mean, dude just got fodderized. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. Let me know what you guys thought, like, comment, and subscribe, and get you woman who looks at you like us Porges looking at Orhan right now. The opposite way around works too. Alright,